hit you. The thing you felt.
When we were in there that poked me? You're right.
Yeah. That's my guess.
When the lights are out, the male figure has an African sculpture who is impaled with several shards of wood referred to as nails, has been seen performing a tribal dance.
What?
In the
What?
in the American Gallery, there have been several reports of loud crashes in a room which houses a painting called the Court of Death.
Our adventure today brings us to Detroit, Michigan, and the Detroit Institute of the Arts. With over 65,000 artworks dating back to the earliest civilizations of mankind, the museum is rumored to be host to several haunted or spirited objects, if you prefer. The first is a painting titled The Court of Death by American artist Rembrandt Peale, or the American Rembrandt as some call him. Determined to discover if the rumors were true, we invited our friend Katie from the Shadow Places blog on a mission to scope it out. Rembrandt Peale chose to paint a subject intended to be a moral statement for contemporary times. Rembrandt Peale chose to paint a subject intended to be a moral statement for contemporary times. The work is based on a poem by an Anglican bishop describing how mortal man is called by death. To the left of the central figure of death are War and his agents, who trample over the bodies of his victims, a widow and an orphan. To death's right is a mass of humanity, representing sins from intemperance to suicide, all of which are associated with those who have died from leading decadent lives. Below the feet of death is the body of a man cut down in the prime of life, which demonstrates the power death holds over everyone. Approaching the central figure is old age, who is supported by faith, and after leading a long, productive, and pious life, welcomes death with outstretched arms. At the time, paintings would travel from city to city as attractions. This painting is so heavy, however, it only made it to one other destination before the DIA became its final resting place. Which is strange because the employees swear it falls every night, creating a tremendous crash that echoes through Rivera Court, the famous courtyard painted by artist Diego Rivera. Dorothy and I were speaking to an employee in the middle of the gallery next to the Court of Death painting, and I thought I felt someone bump into me. Actually, I assumed I bumped into someone or something, to my horror. But when I turned around, there was nothing, and no one even remotely close enough to bump into. And I hadn't moved. I mentioned it to Jessica even though at the time I hadn't even considered it might be paranormal. It scared me because I thought I backed into something valuable, but the employees would soon tell us otherwise.
Did he tell you about the Running Man? Yeah, I've had that experience. It was not pleasant. My experience with the Running Man, I was doing my regular patrol. It was around midnight shift because that's when the stuff really around here starts to actually happen. It's really freaky. And plus it's pitch black. All the lights are off. Like this whole room would be totally dark. I was doing my patrol. I had my flashlight and everything. And I was walking through Whitby Hall, which is also haunted, and I'll get to that in a minute. I was doing my regular patrol, and all of a sudden I felt this huge whoosh come rushing past me through Rivera Court. And then as soon as it came, it was gone. That's how you know it's the Running Man. The Running Man, sometimes you can hear the footsteps. He just runs right through you. It's really freaky, but he doesn't bother anybody. You just know he's coming, because first there's this gust of wind, and then the footsteps, and then it's just kind of, it freaked me out a little bit. Because my first experience, I had no idea what the Running Man was, and when I talked about it, I was like, oh, that's the Running Man. Oh, like it's the most normal thing.
Like, that's just Peter.
That's just Peter, the Running Man. He runs through here all the time. It's no big deal. Oh, okay, that's good to know. The other experience I had was really freaky. It was in Whitby Hall. Whitby Hall does not like me at all. Whitby Hall is over in the American galleries. That can be really scary, especially at night, because the floors are so crickety, and they squeak a lot. So I'm doing my patrol through there. Again, it's pitch black. Can't see anything unless you got the flashlight, and the scariest thing about the flashlight, you're afraid you're going to see something when you're flashing it. So I go all the way in there, all the way through the wood room, all the way in the Whitby Hall area, and as I'm patrolling, I hear these tiny pitter-patters of footsteps, and it sounds like it's following me. And the faster I walk, the faster the footsteps walk. Really freaky. I mean, at some point, I even got a little teary-eyed, and I cried a little bit, like, okay, I'm just going to speed walk through here, and then speed walk back. And as I'm speed walking, whatever it was speed walking right behind me. mind you, I still had to go through the whole gallery. I was like, I don't even want to turn around and look because I don't know what it is, and I don't want to know what it is. So I'm just kind of speed walking, saying a little prayer as I'm kind of walking, and then it just kind of stopped. Whitby Hall, I do not like Whitby Hall. The Center of American Gallery is really creepy. Sometimes I've heard people saying they hear people talking as if the museum is open, and there are people talking in the Center Gallery, the statue of Penelope is. The big Court of Death painting is also kind of haunted because every night it falls. But then when you go to find out what fell, it's right where it's supposed to be. It's a loud, booming sound. So you'll know it. You'll hear it.
It's a very large painting.
It's a very large painting, and it falls. But when we go to check on it, it's right where it's supposed to be. Third floor is also a pretty bad one. We actually caught footage of a ghost on camera once because something triggered the alarms in that area. And then when we played back the footage, we saw this little thing just kind of float around the painting. It was freaky because there was no one up there, and we were trying to figure out what tripped the alarm, and it turns out it was this little shadowy figure, and it was kind of, oh, all right. It looked like it was kind of like mulling over the paintings a little bit.
Now, what area on the third floor was this?
This was in Dutch.
Of course.
We were like this.
Yeah. See?
Dutch is on it, guys.
Okay.
Is anybody here with us right now? Can you make that flash all the way to red?
I mean, you don't know how old some of the ghosts are. You might not know the weapons and the tools.
Can you make that happen again? Okay, what area were we thinking that they were at?
Did we know?
I don't know if we knew. There was like a painting of a woman.
Oh, yeah. The lady.
Is that her?
Yeah, I pulled a little bit on it.
You making this happen? It's just like an absolute maze. I just almost crashed into that poor lady with my K2. I just almost crashed into a lady with this.
Isn't it this one?
Maybe.
And it's Rembrandt, yeah.
He said same Rembrandt. This is his room, so it's gotta be.
Well, the other one they mentioned that Rembrandt was in the American. Yeah, what was that about? The room next to the painting of death was messing up.
Hillary, I'm wondering if the thing that hit you, the thing you felt, may have been in the Running Man.
You're right.
Yeah,
Unfair.
yeah. That's my guess.
We can come back.
I didn't want to say that when we were in front of them, but.
I thought it too. We gotta make a part 2 for it. Yeah. Now we need a gym. Right. Never even did gym though. So we're gonna go down. Me too.
At the time, we completely forgot that we had stopped and snapped a bunch of pictures of this painting at the beginning of the gallery. Could she be significant?
And what's that? Up at the Dutch on the third floor. You know, you ever seen that picture with the lady that's supposed to be missing in poetry up there? Go up on the third floor, see the Dutch. I think I seen that lady.
Voodoo stuff in here in the African gallery. There's rumors about the Needle Man coming out of his cage every night and walking. I haven't seen that yet, thank God.
Were you talking about the fact that it's so dirty? Yeah, when I made out like a woman silhouette in the door on the ground. I mean, look at this one in comparison to all of the others.
What are you asking about?
Like, why is this one dirty?
And it's like filthy, like that's like slimy.
Yeah,
Are people on this side touching it?
yeah, but that high up?
I don't know.
I can reach up there.
To be honest, it kind of looks like it's from Anson, doesn't it?
Yeah, kind of. Is that because I couldn't even get close to the painting?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah. Okay, is there humidity in there? Why is that wetness on the top, or is that the sheen of the fabric?
Do you see the woman's face?
I have not focused. Okay.
It's like this. And I saw like this is her mouth and her nose and her eyes and her head, and she's like looking over, looking down.
Yeah, is it like, it almost feels like humidity.
Yeah, but like why here in the center of a dark room in the basement when none of the
Right.
other ones? But I guess these ones are all sealed, and this one has a trapdoor.
So it's probably made of wood, partially at least.
Wood with screws, nails, blades, cutlery shell,
So is
other
that
materials.
letting that vent?
Many employees have reported seeing this figure move, run down the halls of the museum, and perform a very specific tribal dance, which they mimicked. When I was young, the figure was out in the open, and any naughty museum goer, tempted enough, would have been able to touch the sharp objects protruding from the figure. Now, it has a very significant and hard-to-miss spot in the African gallery in the lower level of the museum. It's reported that a woman who used to work at the museum removed a nail from the Nkandi and was cursed with 3 months of terrible luck until she put it back into the figure. The employees told us that shortly after this incident, the museum decided to place it in a glass enclosure.
That thing, yeah, I thought I seen it one night run through here, but I wasn't for sure. I ain't seen it. I think lady had pulled one of the nails out that worked here. She had bad luck. She had to put that nail back in there.
Because you're violating the
That's
contract.
Right.
Yep.
That's right. She took that nail out. She had bad luck for about 3 months. She put that nail in the spot.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
But did you hear anything when that happened, or you just saw it?
I just seen it. It just seemed like he just went back through the window or something, you know.
Now, another question that I have for you that I noticed is that the glass on this guy looks a lot dirtier compared to all of the other pristine, absolutely spotless. Why? Why is that?
I don't know.
Isn't that weird?
It is.
It looks like it's on the inside.
It is probably on the inside.
This piece has fascinated me since I was a child. The nail figure, or properly, Nkandi, is a mystical figure crafted by the tribes Nganga, whose role is similar to that of a medicine man or a shaman. The figure has symbolism hidden in every detail, and I'm determined to learn everything I can about it. African spirituality has an unfairly bad rap, and what we found was a misunderstood spirit vessel in a misunderstood city. So look out, Annabelle, look out, Robert, here comes the nail figure.